When did health and wellness become trendy? Like, if you're healthy, you're in the cool crew. If you're not healthy or you choose to eat bad, you're just in your own world of freedom. Like, why is there a separation? There doesn't need to be. When something becomes trendy, when something sounds too good to be true, it is. That is all there is to it. And that is why today I want to talk to you about something so important that it took me years to master, which is balance. So if you struggle with balance, if you're like, man, no matter what I do, no matter how much I diet, no matter how much I work out, I just can't find peace in my soul. There's no positive emotion. There's always angst and discomfort and stress, or I'm in this trap of comparison, or I see people online and I feel like crap because I'm never going to be as pretty as them or as handsome or as fit or as able to eat as healthy as they are on a regular basis. If that sounds like you, today's episode is a must watch. My name is Nicole Kale, board certified holistic nutritionist, and today's episode is titled Balance the Diet Scales and Succeed, Tip the Diet Scales and Suffer. That is so critical, and I want you to envision that for a second. We're at a scale and we tip it, there's going to be a problem. We balance it and recreate homeostasis and harmony and peace and joy and all the good stuff. So I want to bring a little bit of the science behind balance. It's easy to be like self-love, balance, peace, all the feel-good stuff, but we have to understand from a physiological standpoint, what does that look like in your day? How do I implore that? How do I execute that and make it align with my biology so I can actually have successful balance for the long term? The first example I want to give you is something called homeostasis. Your body loves to be lazy if it can, but it also loves homeostasis because it's how it keeps like a check and balance, basically, how it keeps your organs, your own being surviving and healthy and working efficiently. Your being, your biology, every part of you is wanting to create homeostasis without you being aware of it. An example of that would be your body temperature. The body wants to be at 98.6 ideally. I mean, there's obviously a little bit of deviation there, give or take a little bit, and some variable based upon you as an individual, but within reason, 98.6 is kind of that. We know that that's an ideal temperature. What is that called? That's your body's way of creating homeostasis. If your temperature rises, we know that there's an infection. If it gets low, we also know that there's an issue there. So that's really important for you to understand along your wellness journey. No matter what you're doing, the goal is always to create balance. And what that looks like in your day-to-day execution of health, you should be having positive emotion. There should not be all this restriction, all this angst, or stuck in a comparison trap. Or if you're working out, if you're constantly keeled over, gasping for breath, or in struggle, or you're not recovering and you're always sore, well, then you know that you've tipped the scale. And the long-term ramifications of that are generally not positive. You're not achieving health when you have an extremely aggressive slope in your scale, right? We always want to create that balance. Now, here's the catch to that. There's a time and a place. Yes, we want homeostasis, but then there's also something called hormesis. It's a fun word to say, and basically all that is, to give you a relevant example, would be, let's take exercise. You want to create stress on the body. Hormesis is basically creating a stress. To give you a quick example, we're going to use exercise. When you exercise, you stress the body out, but it's a good stress. Why? Because as you break muscle fibers down, they increase, they grow. There's all this positive biochemical benefit that happens from that stress. But if you were to constantly stress your body out, I'm talking excessive exercise, excessive lifting, excessively under or overeating, you're going to create, or on the flip side, never working out. We know that creates oxidative stress. So if you are going to constantly be stressing the body, that again tips the scale. It's not healthy. It's not what the body wants. We want stress in small dose over longer periods of time. That's the goal, right? To increase BDNF, to do all these great things that exercise offers you. It's about what you do consistently in the micro doses of stress, hormesis, right? That are going to help you in the long run. And so it's finding a delicate balance between, okay, how do I create homeostasis? How do I make things feel right? How do I jive? How does it feel like this is fluid? I'm good. This is a new part of me in my health journey, while kind of sprinkling in the stress. Yes, you want to be uncomfortable physically. Yes, it's okay to feel hungry, right? It's okay that sometimes you say, you know what, I'm wanting a cupcake, but I'm going to put that on the shelf right now because I have a goal. And with that change comes a little bit of discomfort, but that is okay. That stress is okay. When it's not okay is when it's chronic. So signs that you're off balance and that this diet plan, this fitness plan, this life plan, this relationship, whatever it is not for you, comes like this. The first thing is, no matter what you do, there's just a tremendous feeling of doom. Like it doesn't feel fluid. You're having to muster up so much discipline every single day to make it happen. Also, you could be avoiding social interaction because you're afraid of messing up on your diet. You're afraid if you stay out too late with your friends that you might not have physical fitness energy the next day, right? So it comes in the form that's different for each of us. But the reality is when it feels off, it is off. Don't ignore it. That quiet, small, still voice inside of you is the best guiding principle you can listen to. And so when it feels right, when it's good, first of all, there's going to be physical manifestation. You'll look and be like, man, I look good. I feel good. I've got light to me. I've got a pep in my step. My skin looks good. My hair is good. I'm happy. My soul is right. So those are just some physical or personal things that you'll notice. But then you'll also notice when it comes to your diet, you're not constantly obsessing over food. You're not always thinking, when do I get my next meal? Or I can't go to this function because X, Y, Z. There's just a peace, a comfort. And that's how you know it's right. In today's health and wellness world, there is this trend of all these supplements and follow this diet. It has to be this way and balance your blood sugar, eat according to your blood type. What is your DNA? And the reality is it's not that complicated. I want you to quiet the noise and know that your physiological demand is to create balance, is to create homeostasis. And sprinkling in little bits of stress is healthy. And that only you know when something like a diet or a fitness plan is right. Don't let some individual who has tons of followers or looks a certain way get into your mind and influence you in a way that doesn't serve you. It is so important. There's a mantra that we live by in our household, and it's this. When you allow somebody to influence you, you are granting them permission to instill knowledge in your brain. And when you grant somebody that permission, you are basically stating that their wisdom is enough to influence your life when they have no relationship with you. You have to be protective of that. You get one life to live, one beautiful, amazing, epic life. You shouldn't be living in constant discomfort because of what somebody you think is, a certain way you want to look, or because they're doing a certain diet, or because all the fat is leaning that way that you should do it. Change something that doesn't feel authentic to you. So this is my challenge to you. Remember, balance is key, peace is key, positive emotions are key. Sprinkling in the stress is normal and acceptable and healthy. We want that, but it doesn't need to be every single day. It shouldn't be consuming you. It needs to be this beautiful dance between health and wholesome, health and wholesome. And as you do that on a day-to-day basis, as you listen, as you get in touch with what you need, watch your health transform. I know it's confusing. I want to be here to support you. If you have questions, if you're like, how do I do this? No matter what I do, I can't achieve balance. I try and I fail. I yo-yo diet. No matter what it is, I'm here to support you. Please don't hesitate to reach out. Send me a DM. This week, I will be sending out a weekly email recap that will cover all that we talked about, plus a little cheat sheet that will help you along your way of creating balance specific to you. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I am always wanting to make sure that I serve you with what is going to move the needle along your wellness journey. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to being of service to you.